The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast. Damn it! Why couldn't there have been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God damn it all! She deserved better. So much better than that. No, now is not the time to grieve. There is work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana. Morgana stands there, staring off absently into the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me.
What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me.
Morgana.
How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't.
There were two different lords. The one at the estate, and the one who locked you in the tower.
How? What was he doing there? That's not. I didn't. The man I was trying to curse was the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I? Are you saying I remember wrong? That's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second.
You were in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true.
Why? Just why? That only makes it that much worse. Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him. And he turns out to be the one pulling the strings.
You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved, that should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. This all could have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then.
You can sympathize with that monster? In what way?
He loved you. Sincerely loved you. And to be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about, to be mistaken for someone else entirely, I can understand how that would have hurt.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't change anything. Like I said before you started all this, it doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does it make it any less of a hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? It doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being.
It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature.
That's not me.
You're right. I cannot definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say that she's, with certainty, that she was a part of you. A creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains that she was closer to you than anyone else, in every sense of the word. Can you see the situation you're in, Morgana? The terrible, tragic irony of it all? You've cursed yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morgana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Morgana. I take a step toward her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining our distance. I can almost hear trembling in her voice as she says,
"Stay back. You stay away from me."
You have nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. I won't hurt you.
I said, stay back. I bet you think this is hilarious, that I'm blind and a fool.
Morgana.
Yes, good on you, my dear. You've revealed my big secret, that I'm a feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death, discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I always presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew everything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I've made myself into quite the laughingstock.
I'm not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathize with you out of more than just our shared loneliness. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. I understand your pain.
That boat has long since sailed.
You're right. It has. That is the realization I should have come to much sooner. Though you said it wouldn't have mattered, I still should have made an effort to get to know you in life. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away. So, I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretched out toward her. She stands there bewildered as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her, and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's as weightless as the skeleton all those many years ago. She, like me, lost so much in life, but unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's all right, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the fourth door may have been a fabrication, but the Creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseverable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering together. It's going to be okay.
What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done? Of all the pain I've caused you?
No reminders necessary. You did quite a number on me indeed.
And do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me?
You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. Of that much I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will. Nor, I'm certain, does Giselle.
You're much too forgiving.
I imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbour any ill will toward one of our kind.
Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words for how much you irritate me.
The bite slowly drains from Morgana's voice, and in the quiet, I think I hear a muffled attempt to hold back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin and lifting her head. She quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hand away as I reach them into her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. I run my fingers across the exposed flesh, then slowly pull back the hood covering her face. Well, look at that. You're quite pretty without your face hidden.
I didn't think you were the flattering type.
I assure you, I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. If Morgana had had a less harrowing life, this is probably what she would have looked like at 16. You know, you look a little like the white-haired girl.
We look nothing alike, I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me.
But she was also once part of you.
The last thing I want is to be like her in any way.
And why is that?
Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Just watching her was aggravating. Although, in retrospect, she was everything about myself I deemed unnecessary. So that might explain why it was so hard to watch. Also, I was so sure she was you, which made it all the more frustrating.
Why would her being me bother you so much?
Because that wasn't you. You're aggressive, you yell, you fight.
Is that how she saw me?
How wouldn't it bother you, me, that you came back as a quiet, passive, subservient girl? Of course, now I know that it wasn't you, so...
You were that sure it was me, despite thinking we were nothing alike?
Apparently so.
Hold on a second. Why would that bother you?
I'll let you figure that one out. It's not important. So, you've got my attention. What are you planning to do now?
To leave the mansion with you. To set everyone free and break the curse. Setting them free will set you free as well.
So, you want me to release their souls?
Exactly.
Just so you know, I haven't forgiven them. My hatred isn't going to just vanish like it was nothing. I'll never be able to forgive them completely. But you're right. This has gone on long enough.
Morgana.
I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. And it's all your fault. So sure, I'll release their souls.
I'm so glad to hear it.
However, I don't want to see them alone. I'm not sure I'll be able to set them free if I have to face them on my own.
That won't be a problem. I'll go with you. We'll go see them together.
You get to be my guide this time then. Get to take up Giselle's old mantle.
That I do.
Even if it means taking this hand.
You honestly think I have any reservations about that?
God, I swear. You really are the worst. Lead the way, my dear, to where their souls wait.
Hand in hand, we travel the cursed mansion's corridors. The halls overflow with darkness, cut off from the sun and devoid of colour. Despite having spent much time in this place, it's never stopped being depressingly gloomy. No one for any reason should be left behind in a place like this. We cross through the living room, making our way to the back garden door. There are no children laughing beyond the door, but I can faintly smell flowers.
Michael, what am I supposed to say to them?
If nothing comes to mind, you don't have to say anything. I get the feeling they'll have something to say to you, though. So if you would, try to hear them out.
I'm not looking forward to this.
It'll go fine, I promise. Nothing that happens could possibly make things worse than they already are. The only way to go from here is up. So up we go.
Let's go then, I suppose.
A hollow breeze brushes through the grey-filled rose garden. The shadow standing there turns towards us. It gradually starts looking more and more like the young man it once was.
Morgana?
It's okay. We're here to free your soul.
Michael? You forgive me for what I did, Morgana? No, I don't. All this means is I'm done cursing you.
Either way, thank you. I know what I'm doing here now. Or, I guess, I remember what I'm doing here. I deserve to be cursed after everything I've done to you. It can't have been easy, that's for sure. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused.
What's done is done.
I guess. Still, I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to be friends. I meant it. I really did.
I know now why you did what you did. Why you sold me out. Some people might say you had no other choice, but as the girl you actually sold out, those are words you'll never hear from my lips.
Fair enough.
Nonetheless, objectively speaking, you too were a victim. Do you not resent me for punishing you in spite of that?
Huh?
I presume you're now able to recall everything. Both your first life and the second one I subjected you to, when the house was called Rose Manor.
Yeah.
What happened then was the result of my wish. You have every right to despise me.
The way I see it, with or without your curse, Nellie still would have had the same feelings for me. It was my fault for being too dense to realize she thought of me as more than a brother. Things would have turned out the way they did regardless.
The white-haired girl was the spark that set her off, though. And it was because of me that she ended up at that mansion. My wish was to see your life utterly ruined. And in service of that desire, the white-haired girl was born into that era as your half-sister. So I disagree. My curse did play a significant role in your fate.
Regardless, I don't feel like it would be right of me to blame you. Things turned out the way they did, because I was weak and ran from the problem instead of facing it. Michelle wouldn't have had to get hurt either, if only I'd had more of a spine. I guess calling her Michelle is kind of confusing with Michael here, huh? How should I refer to her then? Girl Michelle, maybe?
Creativity is not your strong suit, is it?
She wouldn't happen to be around, would she? She has departed from this world. Or perhaps it would be better to say she's returned to her rightful place in it. The girl you knew as Michelle is gone forever. That's too bad. I was hoping I could apologize to her too. I believe you've made your feelings quite clear.
Not that she would hold it against you if you didn't apologize. That's simply her nature.
Oh. Well, Morgana, I'm so sorry for everything.
I'm going to free your soul from the bonds of this cursed mansion, after which it should return to its rightful place.
Okay. But before that, I've got one last thing I'd like to say. To you, Michael. To me. It was a little hazy, but I did kind of get to see what you were up to until just a little bit ago. If you hadn't done what you did for me, for Nellie, for Morgana, for everyone, I'm not sure I would have been able to work up the guts to apologize. I'm pretty sure I would have still been convinced I wasn't at fault. It may not have been real, but your effort wasn't in vain. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, I guess this is goodbye.
Farewell, Mel. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Goodbye, Morgana.
You don't have to tell me that he wasn't a bad person. But bad people aren't the only ones who do bad things.
That's true, yes. But having a conscience can be a double-edged sword. The regret so overwhelming you don't want to believe you could do something so awful. That some outside force must be to blame. So I hope you're willing to accept at least part of his apology.
Lead the way, my dear, to where the next soul waits.
The staircase leading to the cellar is quiet, the air still. No sounds of flesh being devoured, no stench of blood, just darkness, reaching ever downward.
I'm going to have to ask you to go in first this time.
I don't mind, but why?
I'd rather not be skewered.
It'll be fine, I'm sure. I doubt he'll attack.
I can't say I'm anywhere near as confident as you. So, you get to be my meat shield should anything go wrong.
Ah, so that's what I am to her.
We may not have bodies, but we are still capable of feeling pain.
You don't have to remind me.
I have to say, I'm surprised you actually made it to the top of the tower.
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Half and half. Regardless, don't assume you're safe just because you're already dead. If he were to attack and destroy your soul, you would be erased for all eternity. There would be no coming back, in any shape or form, after any amount of time. Just something to keep in mind.
I'm not worried. We shouldn't have any trouble talking to him.
If you say so, then off we go.
I push open the cellar door. Behind it, a shadow of a man sits on the floor, leaning against a stack of boxes. He slowly rises to his feet upon hearing us enter. And as he does, the blackness dissolves away, revealing the man.
I almost didn't recognize you. Your face, it's not how I remember. It's back to normal. I see. So you weren't a witch. You were a pretty human girl. You look a little like the blind girl. No, I do not. Not one bit. If anything, he looks far more like her than I. White hair, red eyes. They even have almost the same name. I think comparing her to a large, dour-looking man is a bit disrespectful.
Don't pretend you look any more approachable.
He's not even half the man you think he is.
Was that really necessary, Morgana?
He is a man. He is indisputably a man, no matter what reason you have to claim otherwise. Actually, can angels be male or female?
Can you please cut it out with the angel thing already?
So, what brings you two down here? We're here to free your soul. You're forgiving me? Absolutely not. However, I've decided there's no point in punishing you any further. I see. You are, in no uncertain terms, one of the most evil men I have ever encountered.
I can hardly argue with that.
Should you so desire, I can eradicate you.
Morgana, what a...
Let me finish, Michael. Instead of letting your soul return, I can erase it. Your existence is a scar on the world. The allure of killing is too strong for you to resist. Even without my curse, you would bring pain and misfortune on others.
You're right. And that would probably be for the best. The world would be better off without me. And I know that. I do. But I don't want to disappear.
As you wish. Then I will release your soul.
Before I go, allow me to burn this into my soul. You must resist temptation if you are to blend in. So in my next life, I won't be a killer.
I suppose it's worth trying. Do your best.
I will.
Farewell, Yukimasa. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Farewell, Morgana.
He is not the only one who derived pleasure from others' pain.
Morgana.
It's strange, setting them free. I both feel like a weight's been lifted, and like I'm the greatest villain of them all.
Perhaps by forgiving them, you can come to forgive yourself.
But if I forgive them, what does that make everything I've done up to now?
The first step toward moving on.
Could you forgive those who wronged you then? The woman who tormented you, your brother who made a mockery of you, your eldest brother who took your life, your mother so unwilling to accept you she burned you at the stake, the villagers who falsely accused you of being a witch, your father who raped the woman you love. Could you forgive them?
If they were willing to repent.
And if they weren't? What if they showed up intent on causing you more pain?
Then I
suppose I'm not acting much better than any of them right now. Let's go. We have one more soul to set free. There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Is Giselle really there with you? Because I can't sense her at all. If she were in the mansion, I would know, but I can't feel her presence anywhere. Be honest with me. You can't feel her either, can you? Are you sure her soul hasn't extinguished?
She's here. I'm certain of it. Lost somewhere deep in the mansion's darkness. Once we've purged that darkness, she should be free to return. I have faith in her.
I see. Well, I'm not sure how much this means coming from me. but I hope you see her again.
I will. And thank you.
I'm actually rather fond of her, Giselle. Although I suppose it's hard not to get a little attached to someone you've spent hundreds of years with.
Just attached? Giselle, she's fairly fond of you herself.
I can only hope.
The smell of cigarette smoke seeps through the cracks in the den door. It's perfectly quiet behind it, however. No chatter or clacking of billiard balls. Morgana appears slightly reluctant to step through the door. Or perhaps she's tense. Shall we? Her hand in mine, I push open the door. A shadow is perched on the edge of a dark green rectangular table. He freezes for a moment when he hears us enter, quickly finding his composure and marching toward us, determination in his step. The shadows dissolve, revealing the man. Morgana, your face, it healed.
It did.
It's been a long time coming. And would you look at that? Not a letdown. Was it him that healed you?
Yes, it was him.
Well, I'll be. I was always hoping I'd be the one to have the honour.
You lost that qualification when you...
Yeah, I know. I'm the one who made you into the witch. The one who killed you. I don't expect or deserve your forgiveness. I'd still like a chance to make amends in any way you wish, even if it means being cursed for all eternity.
I'm here to release your soul. Once that's done, that's it from me. No curses, no forgiveness, nothing.
Huh. So you're cutting ties completely? Damn.
Truthfully, I had no idea how you felt about me. But that ship sailed long ago. Far, far too long ago.
I know.
Nothing can change how I feel about you. Not anymore.
I bet.
I'm going to release your soul now.
Could you hold off on that a moment? I don't expect you to reciprocate or even accept. But if I don't put my feelings into words, I'll never get them through to you. I don't think that's how she put it anyway. I think that's how she put it anyway. So I ask for this one chance to put them into words. Morgana.
Fine.
The girl with the white hair, my wife.
Michelle, what of her?
Something about that name always felt off to me. I could never shake the feeling that calling her that was somehow wrong. When I first saw that smile, I was dead certain that she was what had always been missing from my life, that I had finally found what I'd been searching for. And now, I know why. Because I felt you in her. The memories of you ingrained on my soul.
You should know better than anyone that we're nothing alike. That girl wouldn't say anything remotely impolite even if you held a knife to her throat.
You're right. You're nothing alike. But you both got this aura about you that drew me in. Your soul's aura. I loved you dearly, Morgana. I've got no right to ask anything of you, I know. But could you maybe smile for me? Just once is all I ask.
I can't do it. I should. I know I should. That it would let us end things on a nice note. But I can't force myself to smile. It wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for putting you in that position. I've said my piece. I'm ready now.
Okay. Very well then. Farewell, Jacopo. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Goodbye, Morgana. You couldn't have done anything more for him?
Such as? I won't deny that my feelings about him are complicated, but the things he did to me, they eclipse all that. Merely learning the truth, hearing how he felt, is nowhere near enough to raise that.
Couldn't you at least put a little hope in your next lives? That maybe you two could try again?
No, I can't. I don't want to encounter him again, ever.
Then if nothing else, could you try not to forget that he did save you once?
I suppose. Though my salvation, Michael, was not ultimately at his hands. I was watching to the very end. It may all have been an illusion constructed from the memories of everyone's souls. But that didn't make your actions any less real. The things you said to me, your earnest desperation. Learning the truth is only partly why I decided to release their souls. The biggest reason, however, was seeing how far you went for me. If you hadn't been there for my death, if you hadn't done what you did, then I would not have freed them.
Nonetheless, is it unfair of me to wish you'd show him that smile instead, Morgana?
Well, that's the last of them. Shall I be off now?
There's one more stop to make. There's still one more soul that needs releasing.
Be my guide.
Still holding Morgana's hand, I make my way to the wall, where the landscape painting hangs. You told me to come back if I ever figured out your name. George's.
Hey, Michael.
Hello.
How'd you figure out it was me?
Of course I'd recognize my own brother. Well, granted, I didn't recognize you at first.
It's not every day your big bro winds up as a painting, huh?
It came as quite the surprise when I finally made the connection.
I'll bet it did. Hold on a minute. You two are brothers?
I assumed you knew.
Oh, hello there. Quite the companion you've got there, Michael. So, what brings you two to my little corner of the house? I've decided I'm going to extinguish the mansion. Oh, really? Well, isn't that something? You act like I just told you what I'm having for supper. This place is going to disappear forever. Well, yeah, sure, but what brought about this? I've lost interest in cursing them. Ah, now that's some good news.
You seem to get along surprisingly well with her.
Time out the hoo-ha and nobody else to talk to will do that to you. Not that she ever gave me the time of day much. You expect me to stand here and listen to you yammer on for hours on end? The only thing you're good for is tossing rubbish into.
Wait, so she was the one who put the master bedroom key in the painting?
That she was. Just tossed her right on in without even asking.
Why would you get rid of the key to my room?
I had no use for it, and being in that room always made me uncomfortable. It has this terrible warmth to it. I couldn't stand it.
Ah.
Sure glad she only tossed the key, though. Would have been bad if she'd thrown me out with it. I didn't see the need. I did find it curious there was a soul here I hadn't summoned, but you were ultimately harmless. So I simply pretended you weren't there.
So she ignored him for hundreds of years?
I understand now what you meant, Michael, when you said this world didn't belong only to me. Your brother was able to find his way here, because it's a place deeply bound to your soul. I'm no expert on none of this spiritual stuff. All I know is one day I was just here and full of regret. So if I had to guess, I'd say I probably ended up here because I wanted to be somewhere I could feel you, Michael.
Georges,
would you be so kind as to let me apologize?
I know quite well how sorry you are, and you've already apologized once besides. I went years not seeing you, not hearing from you, not having any idea what you thought about me. So when I got that painting, it was a huge blow to me emotionally. But talking to you again has reminded me what kind of person you really are, Georges. You didn't mean to hurt me.
No. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Mom said paint it, so I painted it. And when she told me she sent it off to you, I didn't really think anything of it. It never even crossed my mind to think how you felt out there, all alone. The kind of pain you were going through, just because of the way you were born. When you're not the one on the receiving end, it's easy to completely be blind to your own actions. It never even occurred to me that we'd essentially exiled you, Michael. Not until it was all over. Really, all I can say is, sorry you got stuck with such a dope for a brother. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds and I would have realized what we were doing. And you know, at the time I thought, what's it matter if you're a guy or a girl? You're still you. But I was wrong. It's not that simple. I can only imagine someone's coming up to me one day saying, nah, you're actually a girl. And everyone I care about suddenly not wanting anything to do with me. What a drag that'd be. I'm really sorry, bro.
It's okay, Georges. I forgive you.
Thanks.
I wanted so badly to see you and Didier again, Georges. And while I didn't get that chance in life, I'm still glad to have the opportunity to talk to you now. To hear the things you never got to say. It pains me to see you reduced to this form, but knowing that it's a result of overwhelming regret, that you were just that desperate to find me again, it warms my heart. What on earth was that?
Me trying my damnedest not to burst into tears. I don't think it worked very well, though. Does the canvas look wet? Could you feel it for me?
I think I'll pass.
Not feeling up for any brotherly love?
Honestly, I'm relieved to see you're still the same George as I always knew.
Changing ain't really my thing after all.
I suppose it isn't.
This doesn't sit right with me.
What? Why not?
You're letting him off the hook far too easily, Michael. I know very well just how much pain that painting caused you. It might as well have been what resurrected me.
I've moved past that, though.
Make him pay for what he did. Scribble on him.
Do what?
Scrawl your anger all over that ridiculous painting.
But I'm not angry.
Now that's a damn fine idea if I ever heard one. You most definitely need to make me pay, Michael.
George's?
Come on, hit me with everything you got. Scribble away.
Even if I wanted to, I have nothing to draw with.
Just use your finger. I'll trace it out for you. Come on, what are you waiting for?
He really wants me to draw on him, doesn't he?
He more than deserves it, Michael. Bring it on, Michael.
This conversation got bizarre fast. Okay. I'll draw on you.
Oh my. Now that is downright ghastly.
What?
You might actually have potential, Michael. Voodoo dolls are the last thing I expected from you. 4 of them at that. And a demonic being alongside them. Oh, I can just feel your burning rancor, Michael.
That's not what I drew at all.
What? Then what is it?
It's not important. Now that that's finished, I think it's time we all took our leave.
Oh? I can come too? Well, I might need a little help with that, Michael. As you can see, walking ain't one of my talents.
That's all right, I'll carry you.
Careful taking me off my hook.
By all means.
Feel free to drop in, Michael. I must say, that is a rather amusing sight. It's definitely not every day you get to see a full-grown man turn painting being hauled down a spooky hole by his little bro.
George's...
It does make me wonder, though. Are you two really brothers? I have a hard time believing you share even a drop of blood with this obnoxious lout, Michael.
We are brothers. Right, George's?
Whoa. Don't you start questioning it too, Michael. We are absolutely, positively, 100% brothers.
She has a good point, though. We don't even look that much alike.
No shocking family plot twists here. I've known you since you were a baby, Michael.
Maybe you were secretly illegitimate George's, not me.
You're not going to let go of this, are you?
I'm just playing with you.
Oh my God. You just laughed.
Yes?
What? I didn't get to see it. What was it like? Give me all the details. An ordinary laugh. Is the world ending?
It's not that big a deal. I laugh just like everyone else.
No, you most certainly do not. Nope, you definitely don't. Well, so much for my tearful reunion with the brother I always knew and loved. Anyway, since we're breaking character here, how about one from our favorite witch too? And no cackling, that doesn't count. Excuse me, why would you want me to? Because every time I've seen you smile, it's never been about anything good. Plus, now that you got your face back, you're actually quite the looker. Go on, give me a big old grin. Not happening. Come on. Okay, fine. If you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Michael.
What do I have to do with anything?
You can do it for old Michael, can't you? Show him those pearly whites, girlie. Oh, if you insist, I suppose I can smile for Michael, but only him. Excuse me? Was that supposed to be my voice? Because I do not sound anything like that. Look at you, all puffing your cheeks and red in the face.
Georges, try not to tease her too much.
Ugh. I don't know how anyone can stand you. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth exists solely to ruin the mood.
You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to lighten up a bit. This is the end of a long journey, but that doesn't mean we have to make it a somber and uptight affair.
I am genuinely not sure how I feel about you, the most somberly uptight man I know, telling me to lighten up.
She's got a point, but I'm not that bad, am I?
Anyway, shall we be off now?
That we shall.
The witch and her band of merry men departs. I'm not sure if one person in a talking painting constitutes a band.
Giselle, I know we'll find each other again. I have faith we will. We'll cast away this mansion's darkness, and then I'll await your return, no matter how long it takes. Yes, I think it's time we took our leave. Having finished what we set out to do, and retrieved George's as well, we make our way to the mansion's entrance hall. The large door stands there, firmly shut, holding in the darkness as it has for countless generations. But that time is almost at an end, the door ready to be opened, to end the cycle and begin anew.
Being a painting for all these years, I never realised just how big a place this was. All I ever got to see was a hallway and maybe a couple of doors. I mean, talk about dull, you know? Feels like I'm on an adventure exploring a whole new world. A very, very dark world. Michael, would you mind shutting him up?
If only it were that simple.
Can you blame me for being talkative? It was a lonely life. That would be fine if you had any concept of the appropriate time and place to be chatty. Are you aware of where we are right now?
The entrance by the looks of things.
Precisely. The end to a centuries-long act of vengeance is but a few feet beyond that door. And you're chatting away like it's another day at the court. Try to maintain at least a semblance of gravity if you would.
I'm starting to notice you're rather ceremonious, aren't you, Morgana?
This is a day to be celebrated, not to be all stiff and no fun allowed. Are you not at all worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies beyond that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we.
And that is the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on. And so long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end.
Well said, Michael. If I had feet, you'd have just swept me right off them.
Georges, I'm beginning to wonder what would happen if I threw you at the wall.
Now, let's not be hasty. Oh, for God's sakes. You're the guide. So, let's go then, shall we?
Morgana's right. There's a severe lack of gravity to the affair, but thanks to George's lackadaisical nature, whatever fear I had is gone as well. His ever-playful interactions bring me back to when I was alive, to when it was me and my 2 brothers. Fond memories of the times we had together, of the admiration I had for them, of me chasing after them. Nothing could possibly replace those days, and I'm glad I had a chance to reflect on them, if briefly, before the end. I take a few steps forward, stopping just in front of the door, and Morgana steps up beside me. I envision the light that lies beyond it, radiant and white, waiting to rip through the darkness. The light we seek, that we've long sought. I take in a deep breath, look up at the door, place my hand on its hard surface, and push it open, welcoming the future it holds. Burn the witch.
What?
Crucify the impure. We take one step back, then another. What we find outside is not a blinding realm of light, but churning blackness and the stench of blood and rust. Metal clanks, growing louder with each heavy step of the approaching night. Death to the unholy. 3 days and 3 nights hanged upon the cross, purified by the fires of heaven. Death.
What's going on? I never summoned this thing.
Even though we're no longer holding hands, I can feel Morgana trembling. She's no longer the witch, the once absolute ruler of this domain, but a frightened young girl. Placing my arm around her shoulders and pulling her in, I stare half dumbfounded at the night. It is our holy duty, as knights of the church, to deliver punishment unto the heathen who made a pact with the devil. The night draws nearer and nearer, its movement sluggish but constant. Didier. Wait, for real? Crucify the witch. Cast judgment upon the devil. The word witch coming from the delirious, vengeful phantom's mouth proves far more distressful for Morgana than me. Whoa, hold on. What's Dee doing here? Please, come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution.
No, I'm not a witch.
The night is partially occluded by the dark, writhing miasma enveloping him. But he bears the same muscular build as the Didier I knew in life, and he's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. Didier, this is not how I hoped our reunion would go, Didier. Why? After so very long, is this how the 3 of us find each other again? Images flash through my mind. The day I left the Bollinger estate, when Didier promised me we would one day meet again. Them each giving me a hug before I climbed into the carriage. First Didier, then George's. Is this my fault? Is he here because I wished to be reunited with my brothers? Is this the way fate chose to grant that wish? Burn the witch. Ah, well, look at that. Guess I'm not your only block-headed brother, huh? George's. Before you get any bright ideas, Michael, it's not your fault our long-awaited family reunion didn't quite go as planned. Just like me, Dee cursed himself. Only it seems he was a whole lot more powerful. God, I really didn't pay a lick of attention to either of you, did I? The unclean witch must be purified from this world. It is my duty. Hey, Dee, are you in there? I shoved a whole lot of crap onto your plate. Keeping up the family name, taking care of Mum. Just about everything I could leave to you, I did. I must uphold the honor of the family name. And then when it was all over, I blamed you for killing our little brother. I was convinced that you could do anything, that you were stronger than anyone. Crucify the witch. I'm sorry, Dee. Burn the witch. He continues his plodding march forward, seemingly unaffected. It's impossible to tell if George's words are getting through to him. Stop, Didier, please. And my words don't seem to be either. Didier! He's closing on us and we're running out of space to retreat. All right, Dee. If that's how it's gotta be. But just this once, okay? The knight takes another heavy, merciless step toward us. The exit's right there, but we're backed up against the wall. The end was almost within our grasp, yet it seems so hopelessly far away now. Please, Didier, don't do this. I know you don't actually want to hurt anyone. Didier! The knight raises his sword, thrusting it forward with a sharp whoosh. Death! But then, breaking free from my grasp, the painting leaps into the air. I'm really sorry. You got stuck with a pair of dolts for brothers. George's! The next second, my eldest brother's blade pierces George's. George's! George's! His form wavers momentarily before fading into the darkness, his voice lingering behind. Don't worry about me, Michael. I got my share of redemption already. I know we can be a bit of a pain, but do for Dee what you did for me, would you? Now go on, call out to him. Suck in a big old breath and call out to our brother with everything you've got. George's! It is my duty to purify the impure. To uphold the Bollinger name. Didier! Despite having already stabbed George's, the knight continues his march, blade pointed straight at me. I clench my teeth and glare at my eldest brother. Running is out of the question. This doesn't have to go on any longer. It is my duty as the eldest son. You deserve to be freed from your bonds as well. Be gone from this world. Didier! I shout his name with every ounce of air in my lungs. His eyes go wide, and his blade swerves off course, missing my heart. And piercing my gut instead. Didier, it's okay. You can let go now. It's not your responsibility anymore. You have no duty to anything anymore. Didier! I reach a hand out for my brother. Blood spills from the hole in my abdomen in rhythmic spurts, and I can feel something hot rising in my throat. But that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop my hand crawling through the air toward him. He's my brother. I have to do whatever I can for him. Free him. Bring him back. Didier, there's nothing here in need of your judgment. With shaking fingers, I clasp my brother's arm. I squeeze, holding on with what vigor remains, and give another shout. Look at me in the eyes, Didier, please. Hear my voice. Hear your brother's voice. I can't stand to lose anyone else. If you don't come to your senses, then George's sacrifice will have been in vain. It's time for you to break free, for all three of us to be free of the curses we placed on ourselves. Didier, please. I hear a sound that's somewhere between a grunt and a gasp. My vision's gone blurry, so I blink hard several times, clearing my eyes to get a better look at him. Didier. I see his face, twisted in anguish. Michael. Didier. Oh, thank goodness. You heard my voice. Did I do this to you, Michael? It's nothing. I've made the same terrible mistake once more. Didier, I caused you harm. Attempted to take your life. It's all right, Didier. Michael, release yourself from the chains that bind you. But those aren't your duties anymore. You don't have to protect the family name or uphold the order's standards. You can do as you wish. Punish me for my wrongdoing. Please, Michael, punish me. Didier, cast judgment upon me. It's all in the past. Judgment is not necessary for anyone. That doesn't change what I did. I killed you. I hanged you from a cross. I must be made to pay for my sins. Punish me, Michael. I implore you. Didier, I think I know now why you never removed your helm that day, why you remained silent for the whole ordeal. Michael, you were crying, weren't you? Weeping for me. Your tears are atonement enough for me. Michael, you bore a great deal of responsibility in life. As the Bollingers' firstborn, you were obligated to protect the family's honour, and as a knight of the church, you were tasked with the duty of my execution. You had no other choice. I sincerely believe there was nothing else you could have done. I bear no grudge against you, no resentment for the decisions you were forced to make, and I certainly don't curse you. Let's just forget it all. It's long over and done. Still, it was a mistake I never should have made. I took the life of the purest soul I know. There is no honour in that. Didier, I put protecting the family name above protecting my actual family. You trusted me. You believed in me to the very end, and I killed you. I knew what I was doing. I knew you weren't cursed. I knew you weren't a witch. I knew you weren't a demon child. You were never unclean. You are my brother. You're my family. And I robbed you of your life. There's no one in this world more unfit to be a knight than me. You don't have to be a knight anymore. You don't have to be the Bollingers' firstborn son. Deciding not to wear those labels won't make you any less the brother I always loved. I'm honoured to have been born into the same family as you. Michael, there's something I never had the chance to tell you, Didier. All my life, I looked up to you, admired you, and I still do even now. If there is a next life awaiting us, I hope we can be brothers again, Didier. Would you mind if I wished for that? No, of course not. Please do. And I hope you'll allow me to wish for the same. I love you, Michael. My dear little brother. Upon those words, Didier's phantom begins fading away. A white mist that almost looks like it's made of undulating particles of light rises up around him, and before he's completely enveloped, I catch a glimpse of the tears streaking his cheeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him crying. I attempt to give him a smile in return, but if I were to guess, I'd say it probably looks rather forced. The fact that I'm fighting back tears at the same time certainly isn't doing anything to make it convincing. Before he's completely faded away, I wrap my arms around my brother's shoulders, much like he did for me on the day of my exile. Not as an eternal farewell, but as a promise that we'll meet again. To dear Georges, right now, in this moment, I have no regrets about having been born a Bollinger. All I have is great pride, so I pray that one day, be it 10 or thousands of years from now, the three of us can be reunited.
I've got a number of things going through my mind right now.
Morgana,
I'm just not sure how to put any of it into words.
don't worry. Those words say everything.
You can cry if you want. I won't mock you, I promise.
No, I won't cry. I'll save my tears for our reunion.
Oh, that painting. It didn't have to get itself destroyed.
He'll be fine, I'm sure. I have faith. And as you know quite well, wishes do come true. Would you mind giving me a hand, Morgana? I'm going to need a little help getting back up. After a moment's pause, she hesitantly extends her fleshless hand. I clasp the bones and with her aid pull myself to my feet. Blood spurts from my gut as I do. There's not much in the way of pain, strangely, only creeping exhaustion. I feel like my legs will give out if I so much as give them the chance. Leaning on Morgana, we make our way back to the entrance.
You're not going to disappear, are you?
Don't worry, Morgana. I won't disappear.
All right.
Let's open the door, together. Bring light into this world of darkness. Move forward. Start anew, brighter.
Let's.
I take in a deep breath. Look up at the door. My eyes on the future. It's time to open the door, not to an ending, but the door to a new beginning. May the world that awaits us be filled with light. Immersed in near blinding light, we press onward. It's white in all directions, not the tiniest speck of colour to contaminate it. In fact, the concept of direction doesn't seem to exist in this world. Only pure, never-ending white. Actually, no. That's not right, now I consider it. I was thinking of white as an absence of colour, but white, the colour, fills this plane.
It's all disappearing. We made the right choice, didn't we?
Yes. This is how it's meant to be.
You're a rather impressive man, I hope you realize. Not only did you free 3 trapped souls, you also saved your brother.
I didn't do any of that alone. Without help, I doubt I would have made it this far. I would have shattered yet again until nothing was left.
And Giselle gave you that strength?
She did.
So what? You're going to wait here for her?
I am.
In that condition?
I won't let myself disappear before she's made it back.
Do you remember the warning I gave you in the mansion? About how if a soul is damaged and destroyed, it's wholly and utterly erased from existence, never to return in any shape or form. If you lose much more blood, that's what will happen to you. You'll be erased forever.
Don't worry, I won't let that happen.
You push yourself too hard, Michael. I feel like you're hurt in some way almost every time I see you. Though I suppose about half of that would be my doing.
You may have caused me some pain, but I also wouldn't be here without you.
What?
I mean it.
If you say so.
Besides, I've practically only ever seen you hurt too.
I suppose so.
Whatever form your soul may assume in your next life, I'll be praying there's far less pain in it for you.
This is why I'll never get along with you. Always concerned about others. Can I ask you something? If you were to be born again, would you want it to be in a fully male body?
That's what I've always wanted. So yes, I would.
In your next life, if you have one, do you want to see Giselle again?
Absolutely, I do.
And what if you could only have one or the other? Which one would you choose?
Do you even need to ask?
No, I suppose not. You know, I'm neither a witch nor a saint, just an ordinary powerless soul now, so my wishes aren't likely to cause more miracles. But I think I'll wish for something anyway.
For what?
Not telling. Well, I'll be off then.
All right.
I didn't think it would be so difficult to come up with parting words.
You can say whatever you like. The first thing that comes to mind is fine.
Okay, then I'll say to you the same thing I said to them. Farewell, Michael, until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Farewell, indeed.
If, however, if by some infinitesimally low chance we do happen to meet again, would you be my friend?
Morgana, absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way.
I'm not a nice person, you know. I'm nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude, to cause you much grief and pain.
Don't worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. You don't need to change. So let's meet up in our next lives and become good friends.
Not good friends, and not acquaintances either. Just plain friends. Understood?
Understood.
I'm rather looking forward to it. Now this is goodbye for real. So I suppose I'll part with some uncharacteristic honesty. I'm glad to have had you in my life, Michael. And thank you for everything.
Morgana,
Farewell.
until our souls cross paths once more. It's so quiet, so unbelievably desolate. Giselle, you endured centuries waiting for me to return. I'll wait right here for as long as I must. I can feel the mansion, that gathering place for the departed, fading away. I did it, Giselle. I broke the curse. I cast off the darkness. I saved Morgana and all the other souls trapped there. I couldn't have done it without you. I miss you, Giselle. All I want is to see your face, to hear your voice, feel your warmth, tell you how much I love your smile. Where are you, Giselle? I know I said I wouldn't let myself disappear until you came back, but I'm wishing with all my might for my body to hold out, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. I'm coming to realize, as I grow weaker, that the will of one man is nothing in the face of the will of the universe. Where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. I can see right through my hands, Giselle. My lower body is already gone, and the rest of it is following. I hope you'll still be able to find me, even without a body. I've lost my voice now, Giselle. I don't have much left to lose. I'm dissolving into the light. Say my name, Giselle. I want to hear you say my name. I'm here, waiting for you. Where are you, Giselle? Am I making it through to you, even a little? I need you. I can't allow myself to disappear until you've returned. Giselle. Michael. Finally. I finally found you. I'm sorry it took so long. Don't worry, Michael. I know it's you. I'll always be able to recognize you, no matter what. You don't have to be afraid. I wouldn't have made it out if it weren't for you, Michael. A ray of light reached deep into the darkness, all the way down to where I was lost. It was a light more radiant than anything I've ever seen. So much so I couldn't hold back my tears. You fought so very hard. You broke the mansion's curse, released it from the darkness. I was right about you. You are strong, immeasurably so. Can you hear me there, Michael? I'm sorry for keeping you waiting so long, for letting you deteriorate like this. But thank you. Thank you for waiting. Now it's time for us to return back to our rightful places. So please, Michael, don't disappear on me. Don't let your soul's flame be extinguished. I beg you, keep holding on. There's still so much I need to tell you. I want to hear your voice. I want to feel your arms around me once more. I don't care when, as long as I can have that someday. So that means I need you to not disappear on me. Michael. Michael. I believe in you, Michael. I believe you're still there, that you're still holding on. So I ask that one day you'll come and take my hand again. Whew. Oh, Didier died before Georges did. Hello? Anybody in there? Class is about to start, and last I checked, the teacher never came in through the window. Oh, right. Just a sec. You've been doing that a lot lately, just staring out the window. You watching for something or just spacing out? There's this girl who's usually out there around this time every day. Right over there. See her? Oh, that one? Looks like she goes to the junior high a few streets down. That's what I thought. But look at her hair. That flaxen colour is almost the exact same colour as mine. I can't get her out of my mind. Oh, really? If you're that interested, why not go have a chat sometime? I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Obviously, you've got to go with the old classic, hey baby, want to get some ice cream and hang out? That sounds like a great way to get slapped. I'm not trying to pick her up. You're lying to yourself, man. No, I don't know. Like, I'm curious, that's all. And I'm curious what makes your head work. 'Cause it sure ain't what everyone else's runs on. Now get moving, it's almost time for class. Oh, wait, I'm coming. I wonder what her name is.
Hey, did you hear about the new ice cream shop that just opened up down by the bus stop?
I did.
And I hear their mint is super good too. Now I want to try it. What do you say? Want to go check it out? Let's go. Get some of that mint with a big old pile of chocolate chips on top. Oh, I know. I'll get a double scoop. That sounds amazing. I'm gonna get a double too. I bet the line's going to be crazy. We'd better get going, or,
What is it?
There's a cute boy who goes to that school there. And I think we just locked eyes for a second.
Oh, what's he look like?
A prince.
A prince? Seriously?
Don't you be making fun of princes now.
You're not 9, you're 14. And you still haven't grown out of your fairy tale phase? Like, oh my god.
Just you wait. One of these days I'll meet a real prince, and then you won't be laughing anymore.
Like you'd ever be able to get a real prince's attention.
Hey, that's not very nice. Jerk. Blockhead. Meanie.
Come on, let's get going.
Oh, fine. I'll show you one day. That is my prince.
We couldn't be luckier to have a talented engineer like yourself assigned to our branch. You give me too much credit, sir. You don't give yourself enough credit. I've seen your record and you come highly recommended from HQ. I got high hopes for you. The higher your hopes, the greater the fallout when I make a mistake, which frightens me. What you call a mistake is what we generally refer to as a great accomplishment. And I don't think I've ever met anyone as close to the perfect human being as you. I am far, far from perfect. You Japanese really are a humble lot, aren't you? What is it? I thought I just saw a woman I recognized. We get a lot of tourists from your parts of the world around here. She's not Japanese. No, I must have been imagining it. This is my first time in France, after all.
The art museum. Shopping.
How can you take a vacation to France and not want to see the art? We were there all day yesterday, and you agreed before we left today would be a shopping day. That was before I realised just how big it was, just how many beautiful paintings they had on display. There's no way one day is enough to see it all. One whole day of my vacation bored out of my skull. Not like you can eat the stuff, so what good is it anyway? Please. How about this? We go to a different museum, just no art this time. Oh? What kind of museum if you don't want to look at art? A torture museum. I think I hate you. Lighten up. You telling me you don't want to see centuries of torture devices from all around the world? Absolutely not. Then we stick to the plan and go shopping. Oh, have it your way. But you didn't have to be so... Watch out! Behind you! What? God damn, that hurt! Oh, I'm sorry. Learn to watch where you're walking, why don't you? And if you're so desperate to make a damn ruckus, go find a cafe somewhere out of the way. Well, excuse me. I apologized, didn't I? No need to be such a dickwad. Hey, have you ever heard of talking, or is yelling the only thing you're capable of? This is why I can't stand tourists. Have some damn consideration for the people who aren't just here to fool around, for the love of God. The hell's got your panties in her? And he's gone. That sure was something. Something is right. An insufferable asshole, more like. Burn in hell, motherfucker! That said, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Nah, it's just your imagination. You there, the paper? Good Lord, the stock market is in a damn mess. What a nightmare. The tourists don't know how to shut up, and the French are a bunch of stuck-up snobs. The pizza's awful, nobody knows how to make spaghetti. Maybe I should just pack up my bags and forget it all. What the hell is this? An article about the human voice? Scientists are studying the effect certain frequencies in the human voice have on the brain. Keep this mumbo-jumbo out of the paper, my God. Save it for some paranormal or science magazine. Back to the stocks page. Damn it, the wind got my hat. What's wrong with today? I believe this is yours? Yeah. Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Have a nice... hold on a second. Yes? First off, before I say anything, I'm not trying to hit on you. Don't get the wrong idea. Now, have we met before? We have, yes. When and where? A long, long time ago. Much too long for you to remember. Excuse me? Our paths crossed in a mansion many, many years ago. I'm glad to see that you haven't changed a bit. I'm not particularly in the mood for jokes and supernatural nonsense today. I am quite serious. One more question. Do we have any shared acquaintances? We do, yes. Though I could not say whether she's here or not. Hopefully you have the chance to cross paths with her. I too am looking for someone. Have a good day, sir. Yeah, goodbye. There are memories. Memories ingrained in my soul. Over the years, they've grown gradually more distinct. And now, at the age of 21, I remember everything. Were I to tell this to anyone, they would think me mad. So I've kept it to myself my whole life. I remember, many years ago, there was a mansion. There I met and lost someone dear to me. There I waited for him to return. I remember all the centuries I spent waiting. And I remember he almost lost his soul trying to save me. I am, once again, waiting for him. I'm making my way to where that mansion once stood. A single red rose in hand. A rose containing all my hopes, my dreams, my love. A prayer that it might one day reach you. Roses make wonderful gifts after all. I probably sound like I'm out of my mind, waiting for a man who exists only in my memories. A man who, in my 21 years of life, I've never once even caught a glimpse of. But that doesn't matter, because I know how much he means to me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I will wait. I will trust the memories burned into my soul. I don't know when he'll show up, or if he even will. Maybe we'll never meet in this life. Maybe I'll wait until I've grown old and died. But should that happen, I'll continue waiting for you in my next life, and the one after that if I have to. I'll always be waiting, no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume. I'll wait as long as it takes. Another 100, another 1,000 years. Just promise you'll come back for me. Michael. And the end. Wow. They did it. They said the name of the game in the song. Don't worry. You don't have to wait any longer. Giselle. I'm here for you.
Estou contando os dias que nós passamos. O que você esconde de toda calada, não me deixe somente.
There are memories. Memories ingrained in my soul. I remember there once stood a mansion here, in which many tragedies took place, in which great pain was suffered. Much of what happened in those walls was unspeakable, but they are events I should never have forgotten, because amidst all the misfortune, I attained something irreplaceable. Giselle, there's so much I have to say, so much I want you to know, but I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to get to all that. So for the time being, allow me to say this. Giselle, your smile is the light of my life. I want to spend my days with you. With that smile always at my side. And nothing to get in our way. Ending 8. Fata Morgana. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I ask of thee, O Father, to bestow upon their souls thy blessing.